Timing is so important in our business development and selling efforts. And for virtual conversations, the timing may seem even more important than it does for face-to-face follow-ups. In this episode of Virtual Selling Concrete Results, I'm going to build off of the last video where we talked about the process for your follow-ups and talk specifically about the best practices for the timing, the timeline, or the cadence of the follow-ups that you make. Now, in our follow-ups, we want to make sure that we're varying the mode of communication, whether it's email, phone calls, texting, or videos, which is a big thing to think about including in your follow-up messaging. And how often do we follow up? How often can we follow up so that it doesn't make us look like we're desperate or that we are being too aggressive? And here is the best practice timing cadence that I recommend. I recommend that your follow-up after a sales conversation where you don't have a specific commitment or decision to a time frame, that you use this time frame, one time a week for 4 weeks. Then every other week for the next 2 months. Then go to once a month for 6 months. And then past that, which is the 9-month mark, and I believe you should continue to follow up then. If you watch the last episode, you'll know why. Then it depends. It depends on how you set up your process. It depends on the cycle of the need of what you're selling. You might go to once a quarter. You might go to every other month. You might stay at once a month. What I cover in the next episode on the content of your follow-ups is going to help you decide on that. What's important, though, is for you to identify your timeline so that you're not constantly debating, should I, shouldn't I? Simple enough, isn't it? What's important is that you determine the timeline for you and your buyers. How often do you need to stay top of mind for them? And plan your timing and timeline around that. Identifying the timeline of your follow-ups is going to keep you from the ongoing debate of whether you should or shouldn't. And instead, you can execute a good timing that is putting you in front of them when they need you. Stay tuned for the next episode where I'll cover the 4 components of a good follow-up message that keeps you away from the check-ins that don't work. I'll see you then.